When we come back, Amy Friesen's going to join us. She's the founder and CEO of Tea and Toast, and she is fascinating. Stay with us here on City News.
Sam Laprade will be right back on City News.
101.1 FM and 1310 AM.
The Sam Laprade Show continues on City News.
101.1 FM and 1310 AM.
Well, this is a story I've wanted to bring you for a very long time because this is something, if you have elderly parents, you will want to listen up. This is something so important you don't even know you need this yet. So let me introduce you to Amy Friesen, founder and CEO of Tea and Toast. Hi, Amy.
Hey, Sam. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. It's fantastic to have you on the show and to share the great work that you are doing. First of all,
I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you so much. First of all, tell us, what is Tea and Toast?
I would be delighted. Tea and Toast helps families in the Ottawa area who are trying to figure out what that elder care journey looks like, either for themselves or for their families. And they're really trying to figure out what steps they need to take. Do they need to look at long-term care? Do they need to look at retirement? Or do they need to figure out how to stay at home safely? And so although most of the people that come to us and we work with are looking to make a move to retirement homes or long-term care, we do get a whole gamut of people that are looking for all sorts of information. So any information we can give them in the senior living space is why people come to us.
And it is daunting. I mean, I think about even, families that maybe mom and dad still live here, or maybe it's just mom or just dad, but they've maybe moved to Calgary or Vancouver. It's hard to know and to trust someone in the community to make those decisions, right? It's your parents. I mean, you want everything to be just perfect for them. Is this the kind of scenario that you help with, Amy?
It's definitely one of them. It's really difficult. That scenario specifically I called childing from afar. And so it's really, you don't have eyes on. So you have to trust people in the city where your loved ones are to help you with those eyes on. Or if you come over Christmas and you see something, you need people to act fast because you're only in the area for so long. So we definitely work with people all over the world. We've talked to people in Germany, in the States, all over Canada, and actually Mexico this morning, to be honest.
Oh, wow.
But we also work with a ton of people just in the Ottawa area there's so many people really, really confused about what their options are because we have so many options in Ottawa.
Well, and that's a great point. I mean, people locally here obviously rely on you as well. So, Amy, walk us through the different options, because even when you and I spoke just socially a few months ago, you sort of ran that. I'm like, I didn't know all these different options even existed. So walk us through them.
Sure. So a lot of people come to us in crisis because they've not planned or they've left it too long. So some of the options, a lot of people are looking for nursing homes and long-term care because that's what people have been brought up with is that terminology, nursing homes specifically. And a lot of people are scared. We obviously went through COVID. There's a lot of, stuff being said about nursing homes and retirement and what's right, what's accurate, what do I have to be worried about? So many, many people are just so confused because there's just way too much information and none of it's the same. So a lot of people are looking for that. And so a lot of people are trying to figure out, do we go to retirement homes? What do retirement homes offer? In Ottawa, retirement homes here offer anywhere from completely independent, meaning you have your own kitchen, you do your own thing, all the way up to nursing level care. It can be very heavy care, meaning for the medical folks in your audience, 2-person transfer, having two people get you out of a chair, or feeding assistance and things like that. The retirement homes here in Ottawa can do it because they've adjusted to the lack of availability in long-term care. And so a lot of them can do it. There's probably about 100 retirement homes in Ottawa area, and about 65 long-term care. So the other thing people are confused about is, how does long-term care work? What do waiting lists mean? How long am I going to be there? And what's our contingency plan? Because we need something in the middle. We can't just stay in an unsafe environment for sometimes years and years and years. I think the waiting lists in Ottawa are sometimes up to about 8 years long.
Wow.
So it's such confusing information to figure out which string do we pull first and how fast and what do we do.
Well, and then you layer on the financial piece, right? What can we afford and who pays for what?
Absolutely. There's a lot of misinformation on finance. Yes, I'll say blanketly that retirement homes are private. They do cost more money, but that doesn't mean that your needs as the individual, that doesn't mean you're needing to pay $10,000 a month. That you might not need that care. You might not need that size of suite. And so a lot of people say, oh, retirement is just too expensive. I had somebody on social media reach out. They said, well, we can't afford X, Y, and Z, but they hadn't talked to us, right? There's a lot of hearsay. And so I invited them to talk to my team to say, let's get the information proper so you can make actually proper decisions for your family and not just kind of what the hearsay is. On the other side of that, long-term care is subsidized. So it's less cost for all of the care services. But in that, it's a very medical model, right? And not everybody wants to live in a medical model. I always say retirement is more of a social model plus care. And so long-term care is really for those that, you have to qualify to get into long-term care. You have to, once you do that, then you have to wait on the waiting list. And then as soon as the list opens up, within days, you need to be in that bed. Wow. And so although it is less cost, there's so many other things surrounding that decision than money.
And every situation is so unique as well, Amy, right? I mean, every situation will have some sort of nuance to it. And I'm assuming then, you were mentioning reaching out to your team. Can people just reach out to you through your website then?
Absolutely. We have a lot of people, which will tell you kind of what the mind space is. We have a lot of people who go to our website after hours. They're on there, they look, because I pride myself on having a lot of education pieces. We have a lot of information on there, and everybody seems to really enjoy that. But those are a lot of the times, of course, we get calls and emails through the day, but a lot of people come on late night. It's not unusual for 11 p.m. email to come through because people are just fitting this in whenever they can fit it in. So they definitely touch base through tntos.ca, and they give us a call as well.
Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of people, in my situation, for instance, I'm a single mom with a 15-year-old, and my mom, is in her 80s. So I'm starting to think about that. I mean, it's people that are still trying to also live their own lives, right? And make sure that mom and dad are cared for and making sure that everybody is where they need to be. So you definitely have an incredible service, and I'm hoping people reach out to you, Amy, for help.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's a very difficult transition, but my thought process is that senior living does not have to be that difficult. There's definitely ways to get support, and families that are listening, you're not in it alone. There's lots of professionals, including my team, ready and waiting to assist.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Amy.
Thanks, Sam. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Amy Friesen, joining us today, founder and CEO of Tea and Toast. Such an important organization and business in our city. When we come